Any guests to recognize? I don't know, check, I don't think we have any board members here. But anyway, if we could start with a moment of remembrance. You have two moment of remembrances in here. You have the first quarter and the second quarter. And we did do the first quarter last time. I think there were a couple of spelling errors that we wanted corrected, and so you have the first quarter because of the spelling errors. So if you could take out the moment of remembrance, and let's pause and remember these people silently, please. Thank you. And now, just in recognition of the impact of the floods on our community throughout the state, and visitors and family and friends, let's take another moment of pause and just remember all of those impacted. Thank you. Okay, do we have any new residents in here? We have a list of the new residents. If there's some new residents here who haven't been to a meeting, or one of our residents, okay, would you stand and be recognized, please? And what's your name?
Ron Turner.
Okay, Ron Turner, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Smith.
It's a nice looking shirt.
Holly Smith and
Dana Bourgeois.
Dana Bourgeois. Thank you. Welcome. Anyone else?
Oh, yeah?
Debbie Michael? Markle. Oh, yes, Debbie Markle. Okay. Martin, right? Welcome. Anybody else? Okay, thank you all for being here. We have an issue that our executive committee is going to be talking about tomorrow. We have our monthly executive committee meeting tomorrow, where a resident in particular had brought up some concerns about communication and whether or not residents have adequate ability to have communications about issues that they're concerned or upset about. And so I've been particularly interested in listening and asking people, and some other, that was a good thing that person brought it up. There have been a few others that have arisen, and so by the time we come back to you, actually even before, we'll be implementing some things. But one of the things that I'm implementing today is to move the executive director's report, Chuck Morse report, to the beginning of our business before we take any votes or whatever on things. And the reason I'm doing this is that the Board of Westminster takes very, very seriously issues, concerns of the residents. And one of the ways in which they symbolize this is that we have a board meeting every month, last Friday or Thursday of the month. And after call a quorum and the quorum is recognized and the consent calendar is approved, then I'm called on as your president and as a member of the board to make a presentation on behalf of the residents. And so I try to bring to their attention anything and everything that is of interest or that people are happy or unhappy about. That is the first thing that that board listens to. And then I ask John or Jim, who are your designated elected representatives. There are 3 of us residents that are on the Westminster board. I ask them to also bring anything to the board's attention. And that's symbolic, but it's also very important that it recognizes, it's all of the board members recognizing why they are here. They are here, they as board members are here to try to address and improve anything and everything that they can for the residents of Westminster. And so usually, even the executive committee meeting, I inherited the agenda of having Chuck at the end in both of those, and I thought, you know, we really ought to do the same thing. We ought to begin, and we will tomorrow begin our executive committee meeting with Chuck's report. And I wanted to begin today's meeting with Chuck's report, because what tends to happen is if meetings run over or late or whatever, Chuck is relegated to whatever time is left. That does not give priority to his presentation. What do you think, Abby? I think we need to give more priority than that.
Get him at the beginning.
Get him at the beginning, okay. And also, I was talking to Chuck about this morning, and he said, well, how much time do I have? And I apologized to him about the fact that, you know, sometimes we have no time or little time. And he said, no problem, I'm a professional speaker, and I can arrange, he's turning red over there, I can arrange my presentation. I have my content well in advance, he's got his slides, etc. And he said, I can cut it down or spread it out or whatever. I'm a professional speaker. And he is a professional speaker. And so today he has 30 minutes. And he is specifically addressing extraordinary together Westminster quality. So let's give Chuck a welcoming applause and take the floor, Chuck.
Thank you very much. 30 full minutes. So I know lately there's been a lot of news about senior living, some senior living communities going bankrupt, leaving residents out on the curb, things like that. There's also been some senior living communities being called out for lack of quality, lack of staffing. There's been a lot of debate about is there enough staffing in senior living? There's too much turnover in senior living? So I wanted to talk about all those things today. And I also want to talk about Westminster's quality, different aspects of Westminster's quality. And I do this presentation typically once a year, but I thought it's especially poignant today. Our mission, enriching lives through inspired experiences. We've had a 5-star quality rating for 17 years. We're the only community in the state of Texas that's maintained that quality rating for 17 years. 5-star rating means that we're in the top 10% in our state, and only the top 10% receive a 5-star rating. Middle 70% receive between 2, 3, and 4 stars, and the worst percent, 20%, receive just the 1 star. This is probably a little small, but it says these are some metrics that we're measured by, okay? And this is our skilled nursing's performance, so the Arbor, their measures during the fiscal year 2024. Skilled nursing facility 30-day all-cause readmission to hospital, 19.618%. We're better than 71% of the skilled nursings nationwide. So we're in the top 29% when it comes to that. Skilled nursing facility healthcare associated infections requiring hospitalization. So the lower result is better performance. We're at 6.37%, meaning that we're better than 80% of the senior living communities across the country. Our total nursing staff turnover in 2024 was 27.78%. That's better than 91% of the skilled nursing facilities across the country. So we're in the top 9% there. Total nursing hours per resident day. So you've heard a lot about CMS regulating the amount of nursing hours that were going to be required in skilled nursing facilities. And I think I mentioned last year that we weren't very concerned about that because we already exceed those expectations. So we offer, in 2024, we offered 5.06 nursing hours per resident day, better than 90% of the skilled nursings across the country. Westminster long-stay residents at Westminster, the number of hospitalizations per 1,000 days is 0.59%. It's 1/4 of the Texas average. So you're 4 times more likely to need to go to the hospital if you're staying in another nursing home besides the Arbor. Emergency department visits per 1,000, ours is 0%. So the Texas average is 1.74%. Percentage of long stay, high risk residents with pressure ulcers is 2.6%. The Texas average is twice that. Percentage of long stay residents experiencing 1 or more falls with major injuries, you can see our number is 0.9%, and the Texas average is 3.3%. So almost 3 times as many. Short stay residents, percentage of residents who got antipsychotic medications for the first time. So they received a medication for behaviors for the first time. Our number is 0.3%. The Texas average is almost 1.5%. Percentage of short stay residents who have had an outpatient emergency department visit, the lower percentage is better. Ours is 9.2% and Texas average is 12.8%. Our number used to be a lot lower in that area, but all of a sudden the hospitals are discharging people before they're ready a lot of times. Percentage of residents who are at or above an expected ability to care for themselves, meaning the ability to rehabilitate folks. Our percentage is 67.2%, Texas average is 54%. It's almost 13% more likely at the Arbor. So for quality measure in 2024, for overall, ours is 5 stars, much above average. Short stay quality measures, 5 stars. So those people that are here for just short-term rehab are receiving fantastic care, and their quality metrics are really good. Long stay quality measures are 5 stars as well. The Arbor budgeted for 2025 for hours per patient day is 5.2. So 5.2 hours of patient care per resident per day. The Texas average for nursing is 3.2. So almost 2 hours more care is provided at the Arbor compared to other senior living nursing homes in the state. Probably one of the reasons we're doing so well with our 5-star quality rating. I think many of you knew that we received best awards for U.S. News and World Report for a CCRC, independent living, assisted living, memory care, and nursing homes, both long-term and short-term care, and we swept all the categories. The independent living and assisted living sides, that's really driven by residents. So some of you may have filled out a survey that helped rank Westminster. The survey that we do, the 5-star survey that we do every 2 years, those numbers get counted towards that as well. On the skilled nursing side, we're being measured by our quality metrics. So the surveys that come in, the independent state surveys that come in and review our quality and our policies and procedures and all the care that we provide, those things, also the metrics that we're submitting information on, all of that's measured, and that's how you achieve those rankings. We received quite a few other awards so far this year. Some of these you may know, some of these you may not know. J.D. Power Award for 6th year, that was for Life Care Services, the management company I that worked for, and that's the board has hired that management company, me and the LCS, to manage Westminster. That's the 6th year in a row. That's most awarded company in history for senior living. Our experience modifier dropped further to 0.44. And this probably doesn't matter a lot to you, but it matters to me because it means that our associates are keeping themselves safe and they're doing work safely and without taking unsafe shortcuts, and they're really not getting injured, which is a good thing for all of us because it helps keep our insurance premiums down. Work comp claims are down. This 0.44 is the best in the 150 communities that LCS manages in the country. We received the AIR Award, which is Award in Regulatory Excellence for Assisted Living. We've had that award for 12 years straight because of our deficiency-free surveys with the state. Fitch affirms our BBB, Road to 95 award. That means that we're better than 95% occupied. Our occupancy is really high compared to the industry. We're averaging this year about 96%, which is incredible. The average in the industry is between 86 and 88%. Keeping a full building helps keep your monthly service fees down, which is a good thing, right? The completion of phase 4 financing closed at 4.71%, and I'll talk about this in another slide, but we saved over $1 million off of our feasibility study, and we were able to refinance our 2016 bonds, reducing our maximum annual debt service. We had a deficiency-free financial audit. That means an independent auditor came in and looked at our books and found them to be deficiency-free. We've been doing that for a long time. Paul Hilgers, one of our board members, was recognized for excellence in governance through Leading Age Texas. We received a gold award for our memory care program, Heartfelt Connections. We received Hermes Award for Outstanding Creative for our annual report, which is available now, and I think marketing has sent that out.
It's available.
And we also received a gold award for the annual book festival, which we're going to be doing again this year. We received a deficiency-free 403B audit just recently, which is our associates retirement fund. We received a gold award for Extraordinary Impressions, which is our hospitality program. A lot of you talked to me over the years about how great our associates are with hospitality and customer service. That training program, Extraordinary Impressions, is a big part of that. 2025, we received the Resident Satisfaction Award, and that was awarded by LCS. We just recently had an all-associate meeting in this room. The room was packed, and we had a lot of fun, and we gave out these cool t-shirts, these polos, with our new Best Senior Living Community logo on it. And we have some stickers available through marketing. If you ask for some, you can get some, if you wanted to put it on something. This is our Alzheimer's team, which I think Jordan's going to speak to in just a little bit. We've started our Alzheimer's fundraising. The next event for us is August the 15th, the dog show. And then we have the silent auction coming up, and we're accepting donations of baskets and things, experiences maybe that we can auction off in that, and all the proceeds go to Alzheimer's Texas. I also sent out a memo this week, or last week, sorry, about fundraising for the flood victims in Central Texas. And there's some forms in the back of the room on the credenza if you're interested in doing that. I know there's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of fly-by-night charities that are popping up all of a sudden. We will give all of our proceeds that we gather and match to the Spirit of Giving Foundation, which is really HEB's foundation that'll support all Central Texas flood victims. I was really impressed with the way HEB responded. They were some of the first folks on the scene when the floods hit. So some food and beverage statistics. You can see our occupancy since January of 2024. That's that black line on the graph there, going up to our 96.1%. And then you can see the number of meals that we are serving per month increasing steadily along that curve. So today we're serving about 32,000 meals a month. That's 3 busy restaurants. That's a lot of meals. And they're doing a fantastic job. And with one of our dining rooms closed, they're really working hard. Another area that our quality outmatches most senior living communities, I would say, is activities, community life services, Ruth's department. Ruth supervises all of community life services across the campus now. This is an example, a typical example. Oh, we haven't even got to the best part yet. This is a typical example of a senior living activity calendar. And it's pretty small, but they're scheduling their exercise program within the calendar. And they've also scheduled doctor's appointments and stuff like that, trips, committee meetings. Those don't even make it on our calendar, right? Your bridge groups, game groups that you have all over the place, the poker groups, the men's poker and stuff, doesn't even make it on our calendar. This is what our calendar looks like. Yeah, that's a lot. Our calendar is so busy that our exercise program won't even fit on the page. We've got a separate section for our exercise program. So, and we were just talking about it, Mrs. Leach asked the question. Last year in 2024, Westminster had 17,550 activities. That's incredible. So again, good job. And Brooks is a part of that, and his team, and Gia as well, but there is no doubt that Westminster's activities program deserves a 5-star quality award if they gave such a thing. So, with the bankruptcies and everything, let's talk about our financial strength. Any of you worried about getting your entrance fee back? I'll just skip these slides then. Nobody's worried. Anybody worried about Westminster's financial viability? Couple? So we have, if we stopped receiving a dime from you tomorrow, we would have enough revenue, enough money to continue to operate for 832 days. The CCAC median, meaning kind of what everybody's aiming for, is 297 days. So we're really doing very, very well. You see the big dip? Anybody notice that? That is us buying our own debt and writing it off. And we're retiring debt. And I'll talk about that in a minute. That was a good thing for our community. So we're continuing to slowly grow revenue because of our investment portfolio and insurance fees coming in and our operations. Our operating ratio, which anytime it's less than 97%, it's like an aha moment for me. Mr. McGee will tell you I had a lot of heartburn when we had opened the expansion building, because until we were filled up and stabilized, our operating ratio was north of 1. And that's, so 97% or better is really where we want to keep it, and we're running at 95%, which is an awesome number. The CCAC median that everybody's aiming for is really about 98%. Average age of facility. So how many people around here know that we've been here for 58 years? But we don't look like it, right? Some of us do. Well, I'm getting 52. Well, I'm 52 now. What's important here is that our average age of facility continues to decline. That's a good thing. That means that Westminster and the board are reinvesting in ourselves. So we're improving the HVAC plumbing replacement project. That's a $2 million improvement to the campus that decreases the age of the building. Our continued capital expenses, about $4.8 million, reinvesting in the campus and reinvesting in our infrastructure and our replacing switches and lighting and electrical and all the things that we're doing. All of that decreases the age of our plant, which makes us more viable for the future, as opposed to having deferred maintenance like many organizations that, you know, they're replacing the roof because, you know, it flooded. We're trying to do things proactively. Do things surprise us, like broken down elevators occasionally? Yes, yeah, we do get surprised. So let's talk about the completion phase, phase 4, and this is what the board, really accomplished in funding phase 4, and it's really impressive. The phase 4 project cost $43.6 million. In development costs, designing, permit fees, and all those things, there was $4.19 million funded, which Westminster decided not to reimburse itself through the loan, through the mortgage, right? Instead, they ate that, which decreased our maximum annual debt service. We refinanced the Series 2016 bonds, which we had a pretty good deal on, but we were further able to reduce our maximum annual debt service by $530,000. We achieved an attractive all-in financing for the $43 million for 35 years at 4.77%, and at some point we'll be able to refinance that and hopefully decrease that when the time is right and the market goes down. The investor interest was so robust that we actually achieved better than some AAA bonds. The bonds were just snapped up really quickly. So over the past year, and this is the dip that you saw in the days cash on hand, Westminster purchased $18.425 million of its outstanding 2021 bonds, and then bought them in the open market at a discount. So the bond market went up, the interest rates went up. We had these bonds sitting there. We reached out to the bondholders and said, hey, if you'll sell us those bonds at a discount, you can have your money back. And we were able to convince about $18 million worth of bondholders to sell back to us at 92 cents on the dollar those bonds. So we bought them at a $2 million discount, and then we just released those. We just closed them, terminated them. And that reduced our maximum annual debt service by another $737,000 a year. Those two things combined reduced our maximum annual debt service by $1.267 million a year. So saves us millions over the life of our bonds. And the board really did a fantastic job and responded really quickly when we were able to. Our debt service coverage ratio, Westminster is the dark blue in this graph. Everybody else is the light blue. You can see that we are double the CCAC median. So we are very strong. You do not have to worry about our viability for the future. You don't have to worry about the entrance fee, refunds that you're owed. We're not going bankrupt. And we look really good. We're going to continue to work in this fashion and retire as much debt as possible, as quickly as possible. Did you know that Westminster has a solar grid? One of the only senior living communities in the country that has a solar grid. It saves us about $75,000 a year in utility costs while producing 675,000 kilowatts and reducing our carbon footprint by more than 479 metric tons of CO2 a year. So let's talk about phase 4 just a little bit. The light tan area is what we're really working on right now to try and get the Laurel finished. And the right-hand side, that dark brown, or the little bit darker brown area, is A-wing. So that is being combined with the Laurel to make that all part of this first phase of the project. The west courtyard, so that the other brown area towards the left-hand side is our west courtyard, and it's getting some work done in it too, but it will be a longer, slower process as we're putting a new generator in that area. We're doing a bunch of landscaping in that area, some building up of concrete pad to support the new generator, etc. While we're doing all of this work, we've been doing demo, and even during the demo, we found some things even I didn't know were there. Who knew that there was a glass wall in between the sheetrock wall and the Laurel and the rest of A-Wing? Anybody know that? I did not. Somebody knew that in the back? I don't believe you. So, I mean, that's really fascinating. We're doing this forensic demo, right? And as we're doing this demo, we're coming across things that we didn't expect. So there's spandrel panels there and glass wall that's going to have to be taken down so that we can continue our work. We're trying to figure out a solution for that. Do we take down the window wall completely? Do we try to take it off where it's interrupting the connection and then support it in some fashion? There's also some what used to be exterior fire stairs that were demoed partially, but not completely. So they left about this much of a fire stairwell in the wall, and they built a column around it, about this thick and about that long. I guess it was just easier to leave it, but we're looking at those types of things. So I think that we're on schedule. I keep sending out the schedules, and I know that they're a little confusing and small. I'm going to try to enlarge those. Mrs. Miller told me that there was some disgust with them, angst. I will try to clear those up as much as possible. Also, if you have questions, have reception with a little key code to talk you through abbreviations, okay? If you haven't. If it bothers you that bad, though, just don't look at it. Just wait until the hole is dug and everything's fine. Look, I want to show you. Look at that concrete slab. I mean, as concrete slabs go, that's a 58-year-old concrete slab. That looks pretty, right? I mean, that's some nice looking concrete. No cracks. Looks fantastic. Most of you seen some of this. So this is what the dining room looks like in some of those apartments after we've taken down the walls. Just fascinating stuff. See that blue paint that says storm drain? That's one of the reasons. Remember I talked about how we have to increase the size of the storm drain getting out to the street to handle the load of the roof and to bring everything up to code. That's part of that work. This is what the dining room looks like, torn up, empty. How am I doing on time? That's where the little sunroom used to be for the dining room. That's the slab for it, which will be demoed, and then we'll be building a corridor along there.
5 more minutes.
So there is a construction camera on the Preston courtyard, and you can access that now through Westminster's website, westminsteraustintx.org, and you can go to the expansion tab, and in the expansion tab is the construction camera, and you can watch it like a fishbowl all day long if you want. It's 24 hours a day. You can see squirrels running around, everything. There'll be a second camera set up that'll have a view of the driveway and this exterior area as they start to do the demo there and start to build the building next to this Harrisville Hall. So it's really fascinating. You can watch it all you want, you can ignore it all you want, it's okay. Either way, it's going to be beautiful at the end. And with that, that's all I've got. Thank you very much.
4 more minutes.
4 more minutes.
Take some questions.
No. I'm kidding. Sarah, can you help with questions? Is there a microphone that you can let her borrow? Oh, here we go. Maybe there is no question.
Anyone have a question?
Dr.
Chuck?
Curtis does. Yep. Right here.
Are you able to share with us,
Yes.
Yes.
are you able to share with us any information about how the activity of the immigration police have affected Westminster?
Yeah, we actually, we have lost a couple of housekeepers because of their documents expiring. And we've had a little bit, but nobody here on site that I'm aware of. But we do checks on everybody. So we run monthly checks, and their paperwork had expired and there was no date set for their court cases, so they had to move on. Yeah. But we haven't had ICE or anything on site.
Hi, I would like to know when we can sit in the new dining room.
When you can sit in the new dining room? I'm hoping Valentine's Day of next year. Yeah. We may beat that just a little bit, but wouldn't that be a cool day to open it up?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice. And I'll meet you there for a cocktail, and then we'll have dinner. Does that sound good? Okay.
You talked about the age of the facility. What's the average age of the resident here?
So she said I talked about the age of the facility. What's the average age of the resident here? I believe it's 86. Last time I looked. And it changes, you know. Average age of move-in is 79, which is something I've been working for 17 years. It started out at 83, so we are making progress. Anything else? All right, thank you all very much.
Okay. Andy, you want to present the minutes, please?
My name is Andy Reeves, and I have the honor of being secretary. I'll just hold it. I have to apologize for the order here. I got a little bit out of order. But your minutes for the last quarter are actually on the back side of the second page. Were there any questions?
Questions, corrections, anything? You want to move acceptance?
I'd like to move that we accept the minutes of the first quarterly meeting.
Second.
John seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And then Sharon Verlander is out of the state on vacation, and Andy is presenting the treasurer's report.
In my other life, I am taking questions. If you have any questions about the financial reports, I will write those down and get them to Sharon and have them, have her send answers to you directly. Are there any questions about the financial reports? Yes, Jack.
at the bottom of the, thank you. At the bottom of the balance sheet page, there are figures that labeled total equity $57,000. And in the world of not-for-profits accounting, that's called unrestricted net assets. Camille, what is the plan for using $57,000 that has no restrictions?
Your question is actually very timely. Our finance committee of the executive committee has just met on Monday and discussed some plans to, that'll have to be approved tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but will have to be discussed by the executive committee tomorrow, and then in September, we'll have a vote by the executive committee to approve. But the preliminary idea is to do something similar to what we did last year in terms of some grants. But that's not been officially approved yet. But your timing is right on. It's being discussed right now. Thank you.
When will you have a report for this membership?
To this membership, the quarterly, the next quarterly meeting, December 10th, I think. But actually, that will be announced. The next report to the membership is when more details, et cetera, will be announced. But the actual process for what would happen and the deadlines and everything else will be established in September, and that will then be announced on the portal, and it'll be in my president's report in the banner.
Thank you.
You bet. Good question and timely.
Were there other questions? If there are no other questions, I'd like to move that we accept the treasurer's report.
I'm sorry, who seconded it? Oh, Charlie? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you for your double, triple duty, Andy. Okay, we're going to move to the agenda, the President's report. And this is really important in terms of our pursuit of improving communications, and we're always open to, communication is one of the hardest things to accomplish, so we are always open to ideas. But last year, we actually put into place a procedure where quarterly we would have written quarterly reports that are produced by our coordinators. There are 4 coordinators, and all the committees are assigned under one of those coordinators. And you have a handout called Coordinators Quarterly Report, and then there is one done by each of the coordinators on the committees that they supervise. So, for example, you'll see as an example the Activities Committee. It's got the chair, John McGee. Generally, what this committee is, when they're meeting and what they do, current areas being worked on, accomplishments as of this quarter, challenges encountered, if any, future work planned. And you have this on every committee of Westminster in writing that is being posted on the portal today. This is the second quarterly report. And I would just encourage you all to take a look at all these different activities of these different committees. Feel free to talk to the chairs or any member of that committee. We have those members of the committees all posted on the portal now. And if you have anything to suggest to them, or if you are interested in becoming a member of one of those committees, our December membership meeting is the time whenever we have the opportunity for sign-ups for people who are interested in a committee assignment. In the meantime, when there are vacancies for any reason, the committee chairs are authorized to recruit people. So if you want to be considered for those kind of openings, you can talk to a committee chairperson for the committee that you're interested in. Are there any questions about that at this time? You will see we have an extremely active bunch of committees, and a lot is being accomplished. Okay. Find my agenda. Okay, to continue with the report, the Alzheimer's Texas fundraiser. Barbara Carlson is our resident co-chair. She had an eye appointment today. She thought she might be a little late, and then she called me and said they were going to have to do a more extensive testing on her eyes. And so Jordan Bleeker, who is the resident co-chair, associate co-chair, is standing in for her today. So Jordan, would you tell us about the fundraiser?
Yes. I want to steal some of Chuck's slides. Better back than I thought. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity to discuss our 2025 annual fundraising efforts with Alzheimer's Texas. As most of you know, Westminster has supported Alzheimer's Texas for many years, and we've been consistently recognized as a champion fundraiser. This cause touches so many lives, and it's deeply meaningful to our community here at Westminster. This year, I am co-chairing our annual fundraising committee with our HR manager, Wendy Gordon. Our goal this year is simple but powerful: to come together, residents and associates alike, to raise funds and awareness for this wonderful organization. Alzheimer's Texas provides critical services like caregiver support, a 24-hour helpline, educational resources, and it funds vital research to help find a cure for this disease. 100% of the funds raised by Alzheimer's Texas stay right here in Central Texas. As of today, we've reached $29,038 of our $65,000 goal. This is fantastic progress, and we are very excited to keep the momentum going. The fundraising committee has planned several events, and we've created many opportunities for you to donate and help us reach our goal. I want to take a minute just to highlight a few of these events. It's not listed here. It was a pop-up event, but on July 23rd, representatives from local jewelry designer Kendra Scott will be on campus selling pieces from her famous collection. Kendra Scott will donate 20% of profits to Alzheimer's Texas on July 23rd. This event will take place in the Windsor Boardroom, located just off the main lobby at the Arbor entrance. Our beloved annual Westminster Dog Show will take place on August 15th, right here in Harris Bell Hall. Residents, associates, and family members are invited to enter their furry friends in a variety of fun categories like Best Smile and Best Trick. There will be treats for the dogs and prizes for winners, and of course, all proceeds will benefit Alzheimer's Texas. We hope that you'll consider entering your dog into the show and joining us for an afternoon of fun. We are also offering personalized pet portraits running up to the dog show. These unique watercolors are pieces of art that feature your pet. They make great keepsakes or gifts, and if you are interested in ordering a pet portrait, please see Gabby in the marketing office. On Friday, September 19th, we'll host our annual silent auction, again here in Harris Bell Hall. We'll feature a wide range of items that have been donated by local businesses, residents, and staff. We'll have gift baskets and handmade crafts, restaurant gift cards, and unique experiences. We really think that there's something for everyone here at this auction. The bidding will begin at 10 a.m. and tables will close throughout the day. If you have an item or you would like to donate to the silent auction directly, please feel free to reach out to me. In addition to our events, you can also purchase a 2025 Alzheimer's Texas polo and hat at the Little Store. Mr. Turner modeled for us earlier, but that is the 2025 polo. Thank you. And of course, you can always donate directly. Cash or check donations are always welcome at any reception desk. Every contribution, big or small, helps provide support, hope, and resources to those affected by Alzheimer's, and we can make a difference together. Thanks so much for your support, and please feel free to reach out to me directly should you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Glenna Wong and Susan Driver to come up. Glenna, if y'all would come on up. You and Susan, where's Susan? I see Glenna, but I don't see Susan. I just want you to see these two people. Is Susan here? She told me she would be here. Okay, well, Glenna, you're the star today. While she's coming, I just want you to see her. Glenna and Susan have been, I nominated them as co-chairs for our Ad Hoc Financial Review Committee, and the Executive Committee has approved them. Basically, every year our bylaws require that the Executive Committee determine whether or not an audit is necessary or should be conducted. If we determine, and there's some specific things in the bylaws that we have to look at to determine that. When we determine that an audit is not necessary, then the practice has been for us to appoint, it's anywhere from 1 to, I think 4 people is the largest we've ever had, are then asked to, and these are members that are not members of the Executive Committee, are asked to be what's called this Ad Hoc Financial Review Committee. And they have 3 things that they've been tasked to do this year. One, like always, is if you have any concerns that you are not comfortable talking to an Executive Committee member or I guess basically anyone on the Executive Committee is who you would talk to. Then, and you want this to be confidential, you can talk to Glenna and Susan, and they will check out your concern, and they will keep your information confidential, and then we will get a report from the Executive Committee. We'll get a report and take any action that we deem necessary as well. The second thing that they do is do a financial review. That's correct, John, right? I mean, Jack. Jack helped us develop some written procedures on that for last year, and so that's one of the things that would be always done. And then this year, a third thing is they're being asked to look at, which we have a new financial accounting system that we're working very hard to get into place. simultaneously this year, and then to be totally, and you'll hear more about that from Leon in a few minutes. But if you have any concerns about that, or there's something you think really needs to be changed or done, please feel free to talk to Glenna Wong or Susan Driver. And at this time, let's thank the two of them for doing this job for us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Leon Feinbuch, you have a report in your packet, and Leon consented to chair the committee that the executive committee appointed, and has been doing a fantastic job. So this is your time to hear from the guy doing it, and ask also any questions at the end of that. Leon?
So what did we do? What are we doing? We are migrating from one software package known as QuickBooks Desktop 2020 to the most recent, one of the more recent offerings from Intuit, QuickBooks Online Plus. A little bit of background. In 2024, there was a considerable amount of work done by the 2024 Ad Hoc Finance Review Committee, and they exhaustively went through the reports and the documentation of all the financials. And although there was a lot of meticulous work done in our bookkeeping, it was concluded that the current product really doesn't have the capabilities that a nonprofit needs. It doesn't really fairly represent the financial position and financial activities in conformity with the generally accepted accounting principles, also known as GAAP. Don't ask me about accounting principles. Please don't ask me about accounting. I'm a software guy. I've worked in the past in many software solutions and accounting solutions for nonprofits. So I'm good about herding the cats and various pets and all the wonderful people we have in place. With the actual accounting, I defer to greater wisdom of others. And what is it about? Well, it's understanding the buckets. I'm not an accounting guy, so it's like, what is our actually revenue position? What are the actual expenses? And what is the status of our various funds, be they the Residence Appreciation Fund or the ACC Fund or Hidden Treasures? So at the end of last year, the executive committee decided to create this committee. This is probably a committee with the longest name that I've ever been a member of, but it's the 2025 Software Pursuit Committee. And I was the chair, and on this committee has been Jack Robertson and Roland Cook. So Jack, just so you know about the level of expertise, Jack literally wrote the book on accounting, has been a professor in accounting, worked for the SEC, and he was also a member of the Ad Hoc Finance Committee, the 2024 Ad Hoc Finance Committee. And Roland has considerable experience in working in the business side of nonprofits throughout the years. Before I retired, I worked for Oracle NetSuite. I worked in professional solutions as a project manager. I've been working with nonprofits literally since 2000, working on various projects, and with NetSuite, particularly was an accounting solution. Again, I'm not an accountant, I'm a software guy. So our committee recommended that we pursue the donation of QuickBooks Online Plus via TechSoup. Well, who's TechSoup? TechSoup was founded in 1987. I know some of the founders. They originally started another online nonprofit called The Well. They have a strong base in the U.S., but work globally. Their network extends to 236 countries. TechSoup's core mission, and they're a 501c3 themselves, is to build a bridge between technology solutions and organizations working for social good. They work with the usual suspects of large tech companies such as Microsoft, Adobe, Cisco, Symantec, and Intuit. Intuit is the vendor for QuickBooks. They offer nonprofits donated or heavily discounted software, hardware, and cloud services. They also offer a lot of training services as well. Just a little bit about Intuit and their QuickBook product. It's estimated, well, QuickBook across their product line has about 100 million customers. They've been a major player in the nonprofit space for years. They're not the only software solution for accounting, but they're the dominant player. They have a wide user base. Another reason why we thought it'd be good to adopt software that is widely used, so our treasurers in years to come, they may have had exposure to it. They have, QuickBooks Online itself has QuickBooks Online, including nonprofit and for-profit, has over 6 million subscribers. It was hard to find a hard number for this, but it's estimated that nonprofit subscribers number up to 500,000. That's subscribers. If there are 2 or 3 people working for that nonprofit, you easily get into 1.5 million or thereabouts of users. So TechSoup required that we complete a questionnaire. It was really a basic questionnaire. It's an EIN number. What is your mission statement? And prove to us that you're a nonprofit. So we have all that paperwork. The other thing they asked us to do is to give a basic description of our nonprofit activities and programs. So they did, I have to hand it to them, they did a very expeditious review. They confirmed our eligibility and they confirmed our award. So there's not a hard cost for the software. They're literally Intuit is donating the software to the Westminster Residents Association. TechSoup takes an $80 administration fee annually. So the value of the software today for an annual subscription is $1,380. So we got a considerable savings. So moving on to requirements gathering. So we follow the standard methodology where we document how we're doing, how we're tracking our revenue, everything in our financials today, down to exhibits and reports and other documents that are generated by the system. That's one aspect, and we work with Sharon very closely to understand where we were and to identify all those things. The next piece of documentation, and this is all in one big document, is where do we want to be, also known as the desired state. The major change was to the chart of accounts. We took that to the Finance Committee, and really with a few minor edits, Finance Committee approved it to move forward with implementation. We also worked with a contractor who's been working with us all along, Tracy Snyder, who fortunately knows our books, knows our current product, and knows QuickBooks Online. So from that, we, in some discussion with her, produced a detailed project plan that listed tasks for all those concerned in the implementation. Every transaction from January 1st has been entered into the system. So we're current as of this date. We had reports generated, we reviewed them. With the Finance Committee, we made really some minor cosmetic edits, and the Finance Committee ultimately gave their approval. We also scheduled training as well. And that training included Sharon, and I thought it would be helpful to have Jack to understand, particularly around the reporting mechanism as well. So today we're using both old and new systems in parallel. We're taking this opportunity to compare results and to validate that we're moving in the right direction. And eventually we'll cut over to QBO Plus, QuickBooks Online Plus. So we produced a number of reports for the WRA, and people are happy with those reports. But this is not necessarily the end game. We probably have 4 or 5 reports. So QuickBooks has the capability of producing over 60 different kinds of reports. There's already discussion about yet another report that the WRA will find useful, so we're working on identifying what that is. But as time marches on, we'll probably, and WRA matures, and we may have other goals. Eventually, other reports may be needed. So I just wanted to offer this word about different committees involved in this. Our committee and the finance committee, is that it's been my observation since I came here that we are rich, our community is rich with people with robust professional expertise. That's the reason this initiative, in my view, has been so successful. And I feel very fortunate to have worked with these folks.
I would just like to say thank you to Leon and his committee. They've done a fantastic job putting this together, and as of June 30th, both systems are balanced out. So I think we're well on the road to switching. But thank you, Leon.
Are there any questions for Leon? Okay, thank you very much, Leon. Okay, Cynthia Leach.
Good afternoon. My name is Cynthia Leach. I'm a Windsor resident since 2015. And I know that many of you have heard my presentation before. We have so many new residents that I want to explain a bit about what the ACC Scholarship Fund we have. Back in December of 2021, the Residents Association decided to endow a scholarship with the ACC Foundation. And the scholarships go to students in the areas of healthcare and culinary arts, 2 areas that we'll always have a need for, and hope one day maybe we'll hire one of the recipients of a scholarship. Every year one is awarded, and since the inception of our scholarship fund, I want to tell you the balance today is $87,660.50. I think that's marvelous. That's contributions from the WRA as well as you. I have envelopes. I always have envelopes. If you have any kind of idea about giving before the end of the year, I'd love for us to reach 100,000 if we can do that by December 31. But if you need any envelopes that have the donation cards with them, I'd be glad to deliver them to your apartment. And I hope you keep, I know you all are asked for so many things here, but I hope you'll keep the ACC Foundation Scholarship in mind when you decide to give. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Okay, Gail Ross with Hidden Treasures.
There is a brief description in the handout about Hidden Treasures. I'd like to add just a little bit more to it. I'm Gail Ross, Nancy Detmeyer is the co-chairman with me. We are located in the Preston building on the ground floor, just past the little store. We are open Thursdays, 10 until 12 for donations every week. The last Friday of every month, we have a sale of the items that we have collected. We ask on the items that you donate that you make them, we don't have a whole lot of space, so we cannot take large comforters, that type of thing, but we do take clothing, household goods, games, anything of that sort, no food, which we have had donated to us before. Main thing is you know where we are. We're there Thursdays, 10 until 12, and a sale the last Friday of every month. Thank you.
Okay, are there any questions for Gail? All right, well, thank you very much, Gail. So, Julie.
Okay. I'm Sue, and when you move into Westminster, everybody receives a technology challenged. Okay, we all receive an emergency button. It's usually on a ribbon. How many of you do not wear an emergency button of some sort? Do not wear them. Okay, you're not members of the community. I suggest that we should all be members of the community. It's a right we have. I am in charge of the beading ladies who make beads. Thanks, John. That you can put your emergency button on. I've heard that some people have a wristband and there's one.
That's open horizontal.
There's one, and there's an elastic band. I would like to challenge marketing to provide elastic bands in lieu of the ribbons. And I don't have anything more to say, but I will have beads back there for anybody who needs new beads.
Okay, any
Thanks.
questions? Any questions about our fobs, our security fobs? Yes.
I have a question. In the pool or not?
Yes.
No,
Not in the pool?
not in the pool, but in the shower, in bed, but not underwater.
All right, good question, thank you.
You're not supposed to put them in, submerge them in the water. They're water resistant, not waterproof.
We're gonna have manual tests.
They're not, we don't need to have an annual test.
You can go by security anytime and they'll check them for you. Yes.
We have, the system is self-checking all the time, so it should alert us if there's a problem with any.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you for that question, I learned something today. Okay, is there any other comments, questions, or business to be brought before the membership meeting? I want to point out one more handout that is in your packet. It's the 2024 annual meeting minutes from December of last year. We still have a third quarterly meeting that will occur in October. But by that time, we will be well underway in terms of having a new nominating committee. And I wanted you all to see these minutes because you get some idea about the history of the last nominating committee, where the major change made was to implement term limits. The back page of that has the transition table. And this is really hard to understand. I have to get 2 or 3 people to sit down with me every time I go through it to make sure that that I'm interpreting it correctly. Kathy McIntyre has been fabulous, having been the last nominating committee chair last year. But we will have at least 8 positions up, the largest ever, in December for our annual quarterly meeting. And I really want you all, if you have any inclination to be a member of the executive committee, an officer, or any one of the positions, take a look at this transition table and be ready for September when we have a nominating committee that will start recruiting to find some people. We will have all of our officers, and this was one of the main reasons behind trying to have term limits, is to have staggered terms for the officers, so you don't have all your officers leaving at the same time. We will have all of the officers up at the end of this year. And so be thinking about, if you don't want to do it, be thinking about who you would like to have being on the executive committee. And because we're going to have a lot of positions to fill, it's the best opportunity for someone who wants to become a member of the executive committee. It's going to be your best opportunity for a long time. So please look at that. Please help us start getting ready for this. And please consider, and I'm willing to talk, and I'm sure almost any executive committee member would be willing to talk to you if you want to talk to any of us about what's involved. We do have procedures, written procedures that explain what the different offices do. You're not starting with just a carte blanche, nothing to get started with, but there's going to be a lot. That's a lot of positions. Going from 1 or 2 a year to like 8 is a significant change. So I did not ask for a social this time, just to respect the fact that during the Laurel closed down, it's been pretty crazy for our food and beverage staff, and so we're letting them off the hook. There's not a social today, but feel free to hang around and visit with each other, and if you want to talk to any of the executive committee members that are here. Everyone that's on the executive committee that's here, would you stand, please? There's a few that aren't here, and let's give them a round of applause. Thank you all. We are adjourned.